Hello again from Fat Doctor TV. This is Dr. Greg Oliver. Well, today I have an episode where I want to talk to you about protein, but not just protein alone. I want to talk to you about portion-controlled, prepackaged protein snack meals. Now, a lot of people call these bars or shakes or cookies or soups some kind of supplement, but I think it's very important that we cover this. One of the most important things about losing weight is that you have to stay on a controlled caloric intake. And when we look at macronutrients like proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, you want to be able to control the amount of those that you get in your diet. So what I recommend are regular portion-controlled snack meals. And there are lots of them out there. You do have to be careful about which ones you get. You've got to learn to read some labels, which we're going to talk about here in just a little bit. One thing I like to do is throughout the day, I like to make sure and have what I call high-protein snack meals. Now, we all know that carbohydrate, protein, and fats are dealt with differently in the body. And when you eat protein, the protein has to be broken down into its amino acids. Those amino acids then are converted into our fuel called glucose. Now, when you eat a carbohydrate, basically that's already glucose. And so your body can get at the glucose much faster. That's why when you eat simple carbohydrates, your blood sugar goes up quickly, your insulin levels go up quickly, and if you eat too much of it, it's converted rapidly into fat because our body can only use so much fuel at a certain time. With protein, however, there are complex chemical reactions that take place called gluconeogenesis, which takes the protein, breaks it into its component parts, we call amino acids. Then each of those amino acids is subsequently turned into a glucose molecule through that chemical reaction. So when you eat a protein, it takes much longer for that to become glucose, our fuel, and therefore the utilization of that glucose is spread out over several hours instead of maybe 20 to 30 minutes, as in the case of simple carbohydrates. Now, we know that complex carbohydrates are long chains of glucose. They have to be cleaved or broken apart to be used as fuel, but that process still takes a lot shorter time than breaking protein into glucose. So I think it's very important that we get a higher level of protein in our diet, a lower level of carbohydrates than the American diet is typically used to, and a regulated amount of fat, say 20-25% of fat per day. So the best way to do that is to eat small meals, small controlled portions throughout the day. And what I do during my day is that I have a protein shake in the morning. About 2.5 to 3 hours later, I'll have a portion-controlled snack meal, sometimes in the form of a bar, sometimes a shake, sometimes a soup, another type of protein that I get in that snack meal. And then about 3 hours later, I have a well-controlled lunch. Another 3 hours later in the mid-afternoon, I'll have another protein-controlled snack meal. I'll have my healthy meal for supper, and then even in the evening, 3 hours after my supper, I'll have another one of the protein meals. So it's very important to look for these protein snack meals throughout the day. Now, a lot of people say, well, hey, can't you get those from a handful of nuts, or can you get it from some cheese? Yes, if you're careful on which ones you use. And when you do eat nuts, you're going to get some good quality protein. You're also going to get a high level of fatty calories there. So you have to control the amount that you eat. When you're talking about cheese, I recommend eating more of the white cheeses than the yellow cheeses. And again, portion control is extremely important. You can get some proteins from some of the dairy products, such as yogurts, that are calorie controlled. I personally like to purchase the protein-controlled snack meals in the form of a wrapped cookie or a wrapped bar, something I can carry with me, something I can eat at any time. And in my medical practice, very busy, I don't have time to prepare or to cook something multiple times a day. So I do like the idea of the snack meal bars or the snack meal cookies or that sort of thing. And the ones I look for typically have 13 to 15 grams of protein in them. The calories are restricted to under 150 or 160 calories per snack meal. Some of the shakes that I eat are 70, 80, or 90, maybe even 100 calories. Again, 13 to 15 grams of 13 to 15 grams of protein in each of those snack meals or shakes. And when I read labels, I want to make sure that the carbohydrates are restricted. In some of my meals, the carbohydrates may only equal 2, 3, or 4 carbohydrates per snack meal. The maximum I recommend that you have in these snack meals might be about 10 to 12 carbohydrates. Again, what I'm trying to do is to match my proteins and my carbohydrates throughout the day. So while I'm trying to lose weight, I like to stay around 100 grams of carbohydrates or less a day. I don't like to typically go below 40 or 50 carbohydrate grams a day, so I shoot for around 100 grams. But what I do on the other hand is I kind of raise my protein grams to about 100 protein grams per day. So if I had 100 carbohydrate grams, 100 protein grams, that's 800 calories. And then if I have, say, 25 grams of, or 20 to 25 grams of fat, I'm going to be eating about 1,000 to 1,100 calories a day. Now that's during a weight loss controlled calorie program. When I get into maintenance, it's a different story. I still keep my proteins up, but I do add back some carbohydrates in the form of fruit. So that's the program that I like to use. We have several that we use in our weight loss clinic. One's called the Lean 3 program, another one the Lean 15 program, and then our most aggressive one, which is the Lean 7-900 plan. And we'll get into those in another episode, but basically those plans all have a higher level of protein, a lower level of carbohydrate, and a consistent low level of fat. So those are the plans that we use. The numbers just mean different calories and different snack meals numbers per day. So when you're looking for these, be careful. You can find a lot of snack meals out in the stores, whether it be your local big box store or grocery store or even, say, a pharmacy. They'll have aisles where they have lots of, quote, protein bars or health bars. But here's a key point. A lot of the granola bars that are out there are really very high in carbohydrate and not so high in protein. When you look at the power bars, which are more for athletics, they're very high in carbohydrate, do have a significant amount of protein, but are very high in calories. Some of those will equal 300 or 400 calories per snack or per meal. So you want to stay away from those. So the criteria that you want to look at on the label, what I'm recommending is a total caloric value of between 100 up to maybe 160, maximum maybe 180 calories per snack meal. I want them to be around 15 grams of protein. I want to be under 12 grams of carbohydrates and about 25% of their calories from fat as a maximum. And if you stick by those criteria, you're going to find that you'll get some very, very healthy, portion controlled, calorie controlled, easy to eat, and delicious snack meals. Now I will admit there are some protein snacks out there that are not very tasty, so sometimes you have to try them. And if you found some that are really good, just send us a quick comment on Fat Doctor TV and we'll share that with people out there. We like different varieties, and we'll go over at another episode some very specific brands that I find very tasty, that I also find very healthy and fit the criteria that I went over. So when you're on a dietary program, look at those snack meals as a way to kind of save you and to give you the energy you need and the proper quantities of macronutrients on a regular basis. And we look forward to giving you more information on this subject and other subjects as we go down the pike on Fat Doctor TV. So it's great to see you again. Hope your holidays are going very well, and we'll look forward to seeing less of you on our next episode of Fat Doctor TV. This is Dr. Greg Oliver saying so long from FatDoctor.tv. Have a great day.